Hey, welcome back. My name is Rob Peoples. You can call me Peeps. And today I'm talking about one of the most important things to understand in sales, period. Today I'm talking about understanding different personalities and how to reach them, how to create the perfect first impression, not just a random first impression that we do with every single person that we meet. Sales is more than that. Okay. And hopefully I can really illustrate that point to you. So, again, today I'm going to talk to you about the three common personalities that you will run into, and these are both home buyers and home sellers. Quite frankly, any salesperson, no matter what you sell that might be watching this matters to you as well. You got to understand it, okay? So I want to break this down. I'm going to start with a little bit of a story. I'm going to try to do it. I try to do things differently every time, so let's see what I can do on the fly. So let's say that you are the head of a marketing department for a multi-billion-dollar company that makes, distributes, and sells hair conditioners and moisturizing products. I don't know why. Whatever. Okay. So that's the product, and you are the head. You've got a $7 million budget to market this product, TV, radio ads, whatever you want to do. $7 million. You're the head of the department. Your job is on the line if you mess it up. Let me ask you something. Would you spend the $7 million, all of it, to market that particular product, let's call it hair conditioner, to a demographic of 15 to 19-year-old males? No, probably not. Because, again, we're looking at this from the eyes and the lens of a marketing professional. We're talking about demographic. We're talking about how we can reach the masses and make the best educated guess on how to make the best first impression. So, let's break down the three most common personalities that you are more likely going to run into as a real estate professional. Remember, this is both sides. Home buyers, home sellers, doesn't matter. Okay? Same deal. So let's talk about demographic number one. And I think this is more than likely your most common demographic. Right now, what we're talking about is first impressions. Right? So what do I mean by that? I mean the first things we talk about with them. The initial things we leave them a voicemail about, the emails that we choose to send them. Today, we're going to focus on communication. What are the things we say to these people to create that wildly perfect first impression? Well, first, we have to understand the demographic. So what matters to a young professional that doesn't matter to a 72-year-old widowed female in Duluth, Minnesota? And that's what we're going to illustrate. But I want to start on the young professional. Okay. The young professional, let's just use kind of me. I'm not that young. We'll say I am just for the video, but young professionals are on the go. They're in the car a lot, talking on their cell phones. They have to get their kids from school to hockey and then back home for dinner, and then we got homework. There's a lot going on, very busy. Young professionals also grew up in a world where information is very fast to access. Getting a message to people has become increasingly fast over our lifetimes. We've almost got this expectation as a few generations that things need to happen quickly or I am dissatisfied. So, with that said, with all my years in sales, what I've recognized is really strong first impression with a young professional is talk about things like your speed, the way you respond to emails within an hour when possible, the way you've closed your average listing time in 15 days, the way the average person you take shopping for homes finds a home faster and spends less of their time than everywhere else. Again, I'm just making these things up as I go, but never get lost in semantics with any video you watch in this series. Get lost in the concept. Get lost in the concept. How can you apply this? So again, if we know the young professional demographic cares about speed and efficiency and knowing and getting responses quickly, I ask you, what would be a great introduction for you? Let me give you an example. Say, hey, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to come check out the house and see if we're the right fit to be listing this house. I totally appreciate it. You know, the one thing I tell people is that we specialize in really getting the listing off the ground. And I'll have somebody out here by tomorrow getting photographs taken. We will have this thing up online probably this evening before I even leave here. And here's a piece of paper that shows my personal average closing times and listing times over the last 30 days. I really think that for somebody like you, you're on the go. I saw the kids' tricycle out front. I also saw the sticker on the back of the car with the basketball. One of your girls, it looks like, is on a team. I got to imagine things are really busy for you. So I'll let you know that the thing that I hang my hat on as a real estate professional is that I am all about efficiency. I'm all about really fast response times. I'm all about letting you know things the minute they happen, not later. Now, let's break from that, everybody watching. But does everybody see how that is the perfect handshake message? That's what I call it. I call it a handshake message. Or some people call it an elevator pitch, whatever. It doesn't matter, right? But that's perfect. It's the perfect match for what an educated marketing department would make to appeal to that particular demographic. So just to review, speed. That's it. Everything is fast. So appeal to that. All right, let's move on to personality 2, which is I call the type A personalities. Now, this is everybody's least favorite. It is my personal favorite. So who are the type A people? Well, they're the people that are very stern. They have certain expectations, right? They're just, again, looking at demographic, these are vice presidents of companies with high incomes and have high expectations, and they dine at fine restaurants and they expect everything to be wonderful, which is fine, right? I'm kind of that person, so that's what it is. Just a little bit. But at any rate, like, again, remember, we're not looking in this as salespeople. We're looking at this as a marketing professional. We're in the shoes of a marketing VP as we think today. So if I'm marketing to that demographic, the things I'm going to focus on is, one, I'm going to compliment that person a lot. Why? Because they love it. So for example, I wanted to compliment you. Your landscaping is second to none. I can really appreciate a homeowner that invests in keeping the property strong. Again, props to you for doing that. Now, do you see how that person is going to be like, yes, I am. Yes, I am. I hate to be funny, but it's true, right? We have to appeal to, for lack of a better term, an ego. And when we do, that first impression and the quality of it goes through the roof. And what I've found with this demographic is once you, I guess, metaphorically crack the shell and kind of get past that initial awkwardness that's like, we need to feel each other out and make sure we like each other type of thing, that client is very loyal and they usually will end up doing business with you. You just have to know how to market right. You have to know how to have the right handshake conversation and the right initial conversation in the couch in their living room when you're trying to get that listing. Right? So what do these people care about? Well, they want you to present yourself as the best negotiator in the entire city. That's what they want to hear you talk about. They don't care about your videos. Well, they might a little bit, right? They like, sure, I want my house to look pretty online. But again, if this is a really expensive house, I think that it would be expected this day and age that would be part of what they get, right? So yeah, while it's cool to mention, like, I think that mentioning that you are an elite negotiator, that you don't back down easily, that you understand how hard this person worked and how much money they spent to maintain the property, and that it is your job to make sure they get the best return on that dollar because that is what you do for your clients. That's my handshake to you. Hopefully everybody sees what I'm saying here. You have that conversation with me and you combine it with speed, you're going to get my business every single time. But again, if you come into my home and you talk about how you've got great marketing and your face is on the grocery store bench, it doesn't appeal to me. I don't care. Okay? So again, I'm super blunt sometimes, but it's meant to be entertaining. It's meant to get your attention. So don't take it personal. But at the same time, like, we have to understand is it just does, if we were a marketing VP, would that make sense? And the answer is no. We have to make sure we are aligned with what that person wants the handshake conversation. Let's move on to number 3, personality. Okay. Call these folks the sweet as can be people. The sweet as can be's. These folks are awesome. They're everybody's favorite. I've never met a salesperson that's like, oh, I can't stand when I get that person as a potential client. Not once have I ever ran into somebody that's like, oh no. But the reality is, if you remember from the beginning of my story, I talked about a 72-year-old widowed female in Duluth, Minnesota. The reason I mention that is I was actually coaching a real sales call in my career, and I was monitoring this phone call. And of course, this woman was the 72-year-old widowed female in Duluth, Minnesota. And this particular salesperson, their handshake pitch was, I want you to know we have incredible technology. Our web app is very easy to use. You can upload your documents instead of faxing them. Everything is done online. There is nothing that comes in the mail. And I was like, oh my goodness. We did not make a great first impression there. Why? Because what can we make an educated guess about that demographic? Well, maybe they don't have a computer in the house, and if they do, they're not experts at it. So let's back up for a minute. If we're playing the role of a marketing VP with a $7 million budget, and we're marketing specifically to the sweet as can be demographic, what I recommend we would use our money on is trust, transparency, comfort, guidance, not speed, but taking your time to make sure they understand things. This demographic they're motivated by fear and failure a lot more than other demographics. So to be the best salesperson, to present the best handshake conversation as a real estate professional, you've really got to appeal to the comfort, the transparency, the safety, those types of things. So to give you an example, hey, thank you for having me in your home. I know that building trust is probably very important to you. I want you to know that one of the things I will make sure we commit to is slowing down, make sure that you understand everything that we're doing, not leaving any stone unturned, and even educating you along the way so that you know some of the things that will be happening behind the scenes. I also want you to know that I want you to call me with questions. Even if it's 6 o'clock in the evening, I don't want you to spend a single minute feeling stressed, like not understanding something. So again, it's nice to meet you. My name is Rob. I really hope to earn your listing today. You see where I'm coming from? You can't just go into these conversations with prospects and just say the same thing you do at every conversation that you do. It can't just be one script all the time if you want to be a six-figure agent or more. You have to think more critically. Actually, aim higher. You could be $1 million agent. That's your earnings is what I'm talking about. If you add sales skills to the things you're already good at, you could get 10, 15, 20 more listings with better handshake talks simply just by being good at that. I want you to think about that. And the number one variable is, are we reaching that person from a marketing perspective? Are we singing the right song to the right person at the right time? Are we discussing the thing that matters to that personality, that appeals to the ego, that appeals to their safety, that appeals to that speed? Because if we do, those handshakes aren't just thanks for coming in and giving me an offer. They're yes, let's sign here and get this listing started. Okay. So again, I challenge you all. To use your eyes and ears, right? And I wore this hat on purpose. I'm not even a golfer. I would ask you, if you saw me, I'm not. Let's just pretend I'm wearing a golf vest and I'm wearing a golf hat. I'm a younger professional. What decisions would you make based on just what I look like right now, and the way I sound and the way I present myself? What type of handshake would you bring for me? All I ask for you to think is to think critically about it, to take an educated guess, to take a shot at it versus running the same old commercial all day long. Because running the same old commercial with every client every single time that you do it is no different than marketing hair conditioner to a demographic of 15 to 19-year-old males. So my friends, my name is Rob Peoples, but you can call me Peeps, and I hope I challenge the way you think about what you're doing and what you're saying at that initial handshake. Thanks for joining me today. Take care.